Okay, so thank you everyone for attending our BoF. Uh, we are starting to have and this BoF annually, so we are here to discuss some statistics of our team, about the next steps, and also some social related stuff. So I have in the Etherpad the agenda that I wrote by myself, and some people added some extra stuff. I don't. Should I share it here or let me do this?
I'm sharing the pad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's fine. So I don't need to do it. Okay. So I don't know if you want to start it with introductions, and I'm not sure if it's needed, but if anyone wants to say something before we start, no. Yeah, I think we already know each other. So let's skip that. Again, as last year, I got some statistics from the team. Uh, Thanks, Andreas Steele, for these nice charts. Uh, we've been using them since last year, and those are great. But then I checked them, and most of them are not too different from what we analyzed last year. So now I think I need to share my screen because I want to open those links here. So let me do this. Right. So I think it's working, right? Yeah, okay. So yeah, the first one here we have this chart with bugs that we have closed, packages maintained by the package Ruby team. We can compare with last year. You can see that we closed much less bugs than we did last year. I'm not quite sure because this year we had it freeze. So I think that we should be fixing a bunch of bugs, but we didn't, or everything's already stable enough because we didn't transition to another Ruby version. So my guess is that it's that everything is already stable enough. So that's why we didn't need to fix a bunch of things here. The other chart that we have here is this list activities, the Debian Ruby mailing list. Again,
Can you
I
all
think
see Kanashiro's screen?
oh, yes. Sorry. Let me
Yeah, I can't, but I think it's appearing in the stream.
Yes, so this is better, right?
Better now.
Yes, so yeah, this is the one with bugs closed by the team. So this is what I mentioned here. So the parts here are lower than those one in 2020. So that was my analysis at a first glance that we are already stable enough with Ruby 2.7 when we didn't need to fix a bunch of things for the bullseye release. This is the, let me freeze. This is the chart with list activities. So again, not much activity this year. I don't know, I'm feeling our team a bit off those days. We are not interacting as we used to. We don't have our monthly meetings anymore, and we are not doing a bunch of stuff. So I think that's a reason for less activity in all the communication ways that we have.
Well, let's start transition to Ruby 3 and then
Yes.
hell will break loose and we'll start talking.
Yes, yes. Okay, the other chart that we have here is this says commits. So again, the same pattern, less activity from our team than last year, but I think this is expected based on what we already analyzed in the other charts. Number of maintainers working on a package in Ruby team. So this is quite nice because we don't have many packages maintained by just one person, which can be a blocker sometimes. So we have 4 people maintaining a bunch of packages here. So I think this is good enough, and we didn't change much from last year. And this is the uploaders of package Ruby team. So number of uploads. Again, I think Praveen uploaded a bunch of packages this year. So he's this red bar here. But as the other charts, I think less activity from our team members. And the final chart, those are the numbers of new packets created under the umbrella of our team. So yeah, we don't have many packages. Praveen and Utkarsh created a new package this year. So yeah, but here again, I think, as I mentioned, we are quite stable when we have basically everything that we need to run Ruby 2.7, and all the libraries are ready for that. So we didn't need to do much here, but I expect much more activity now that we will be transitioning to Ruby 3.0. And yes, those are all the charts that I have. Any comments or different analysis than mine? Because that's...
No, I don't have anything different. I think the freeze, yeah, so far we didn't do much because of the freeze, just the eventual bug fix. But yeah, I hope we can fix that soon.
Anything else to add here? All right, so based on that, after I analyzed all those charts, I thought that maybe we should discuss about our monthly meetings again, because last year we were doing that, and I think it was great. We had some time in the month to work at least in a couple of packages and fix some bugs. So I don't know if you want to get back to those monthly meetings, if people have time to do that, if they are willing to do that, or no, we don't have time, we are doing other stuff, and that's it. So I would like to listen your opinions about that.
I think we should try to do something regularly. Maybe not a meeting because that depends on people having time to stop at that particular time, and maybe that doesn't work too well. But on the other hand, if you want to organize something asynchronous, then we need someone to do it. I don't know.
How this would work in a synchronous way? We create a pad and people start to do stuff in there. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Any?
Yeah, yeah, I think we need to try something.
Yeah,
we need volunteers too.
I think during transitions, the async would work. We'll have a set of things to do, and then I think people would do that. I think probably we'll have at least the Ruby transition and maybe other things like Rails and other tools like the test framework, RSpec or something. If there are any breaking changes, probably we would need to work async.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, maybe. And I think we also need to increase our activity in the mailing list. So maybe we can try to create a pad, a section for every month, and people doing stuff, add things there. And then by the end of the month, someone goes there and send an email to the mailing list with all those contests, all those things that we did, to let others know, to spread the news, and maybe encourage others to start contributing to our team as well, or I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah.
Okay,
I
I
think
think there
we
was
can
a question in
go
the
ahead,
pad.
Farin.
Yeah, there's a question in the pad. Do we take it up now or?
There's a question there. Okay. What kind of skills are expected to be part of Ruby team? Do you want to answer that, Terceiro?
Well, mostly is some knowledge about packaging, which you should be able to learn while doing the work in the Ruby team. Uh, some Ruby programming is useful when you need to write a patch or something, but that's also not mandatory. You can understand the basics just looking at the code, I think.
Yeah, I think probably I'm a best example. I don't know much Ruby coding or programming, but then I just manage fine with basic amounts of patching, which probably you just need to understand a bit of logic, even though you don't know a lot of Ruby. But then yeah, but even most of the time, like any involved things, probably you could get help from upstream or I don't know someone in the team if something is really difficult and needs a lot of programming. But a large amount of work can be done without knowing a lot of Ruby coding skills.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of getting used to our tooling, right? And usually it does the right stuff for you. So if you know how to use that and you know a bit about packaging, you can already start to contribute to our team. Yes, okay, thank you for the link in the etcetera. Okay, do you want to have any action item for these monthly meetings or whatever? I can take this action item, but I just want to define what it is, to see if we can start to do this again.
Yeah, I think creating a pad uh, at the start of the month and sharing it in the group mailing list to give a heads up for people to add whatever they're working.
Is a pad the best tool for this? Maybe we could work with a Git repository on Salsa with issues, then people assign themselves to the issues.
Yeah, but
Maybe
do we have a
that's easier to
general
synchronize.
GitLab project that we can create those general issues, or we need to use the repository of each package?
Well, there is the repository where our scripts are. It's called Meta, I think. It's
Yeah,
Ruby team slash Meta. I think we can use that.
yeah, we can work with milestones, right? So maybe 1 month, maybe, and okay. So I think I'll try to set this up. I will send an email to the mailing list proposing these ideas. So let's see if we can use the Meta GitLab repository to see if we can create a Kanban there with things that we are planning to do that month. And let's see how it goes, because I'm not sure if it will work, but at least we are trying, right? So
Yeah, I think
let's
so.
add an action item here.
Is my audio better now? Okay.
For me, it's good.
Yeah, I think more important than uh, deciding to use the repository is for us to have people to drive the process, like find the issues that need to be worked on and point before them.
Prioritize stuff, right? Okay, so I think at least we have something to do here. That's great. So can we go to the next topic? Or at least you want to add something here?
No, yeah, I think we can go ahead.
Right, so the next topic that I added here is like there will be 3.0 transition. And I added here the questions if are we ready to start breaking everything? So I'm planning to start to work on that, and I would have some time to dedicate for that. So I was thinking about already uploading Ruby 3.0 to Debian Unstable and updating Ruby defaults to enable both interpreters there and starting rebuilding reverse dependencies there and everything. That's when we start to break things. And after that, I think I can get a summary of what is broken, and maybe we can use this salsa project issues to coordinate the work with that. So I can file a bunch of issues with packages failing to build from source, and people can just grab those issues there and work on them. So
Yeah, okay, I think we should go for it, and let's break stuff. The time to do this is now.
Yeah, do you think that I should do something different than what I just said? Or
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So just one request. Maybe the initial packages that actually broke with Ruby 3.0. If they list somewhere, I think last time we kept on modifying the broken things. So when I did a rebuild for fast track, I didn't really know which all packages actually broke. So that's kind of something that will be nice. The initial list of packages that broke is kept somewhere. I can refer to it later.
yeah, there's also the rebuild that I did last.
Yeah, but then I think it's overwritten, right? When you fix something, it's not.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so at least the initial list, that would be nice.
Okay, right. I can definitely work on that. Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, what I was going to say is we are now on ci.debian.net. We had a GSOC student this year. She just finished in GSOC, and she added a feature that you can use to point your auto package, add arbitrary repositories to an auto package test run. So we could integrate auto package tests on this process even before the rebuild packages hit unstable. So we can, if we use that script usually used for doing the rebuilds, then we can test those packages and test especially the reverse dependencies of those packages against this new change to see if they work. So we can talk about that later on the details, but I think we should have that in mind. That's possible now. Maybe there are some adjustments that we found that we need to hash some details out, but the idea is that it's now possible to run tests against packages from arbitrary repositories within reason, right? We are probably going to restrict which repositories you can pull from, but there will be a list of repositories you can choose when submitting tests. So we can add ours there and do it.
Is this done via the REST API? Oh.
Yeah. It's available both in the API and in the self-service interface, but the self-service is only for one package at a time. So we probably need to use the API for this.
Okay, so I think you don't have other documentation for that yet, right? Since she's still finishing.
It's documented in the API, yes, but
Okay.
I think we are going to we are going to change how it works pretty soon. So, but by the time we have these reviews done, we should be good to go on the CI side as well.
Okay. Yeah, that would be great to trigger those tests before we break everything, just to have an idea, right? Okay. So let me add this here.
There is another question that Luna just pasted here on the chat for us.
Yeah, exactly.
So what should developers have to know if there's anything major about porting to Ruby 3.0? But in my experience, I'm trying to find the actual release notes here, but in my experience, the few less Ruby releases, it's just small incompatibilities. There's nothing major. So I think the Ruby upstream developers learned with the change between Ruby 1.9 and Ruby 2 that breaking a lot of stuff at the same time is not a good idea. So then I think, yeah, I'm trying to find the actual change log here, the release notes. Where is it?
Yeah, as usual, they dropped some features, right, with this new version. So some API changes, and that might break some libraries.
The main goal of the 3.0 release was improving performance. So I think they try to not break a lot of stuff. I'm trying to look for the new features, performance improvements, notable changes. For instance, the safe variable, so $safe uppercase, is completely removed. So before it was just deprecated, so it would cause a warning. Well, it already didn't do anything, but it caused a warning. And now it's removed completely, so any code that uses that variable is going to break. There are a few libraries that are no longer included in the standard library. So people who need them need to package them separately. So one of them is WebRig, which is the embeddable web server for development. So if we depend on it, we probably need to package it separately. And yeah, I didn't find any breaking change, to be honest, except the safe. But that's a warning for a while.
Yeah, I think I will need to check that as well. So I will see if I can find all the breaking changes and send to the mailing list, so people will be aware of things that might break.
Yeah, I didn't see anything major in the release notes. So
Okay.
I think we only know when we try it.
Yeah. Okay. So do you have anything else to add about the Ruby 3.0 transition?
Nothing from my side. I think we can go ahead.
Okay. So anything else, Praveen? Or everything?
Yeah, so I think GitLab I think earlier with 2.5 or something, 2.3, I think, we were lucky that it kept working for longer. But then for last release, it didn't really work with Ruby 2.5. So I had to, rebuild Ruby 2.7 in the fast track. So probably I will have to do the Ruby 3.0 in fast track as well. But I think the janitor script or something, I don't know, maybe allowed to see how it can be automated, the builds. Maybe I'll ask the Debian janitor maintainer in Jelma if this can be done.
Okay, yeah, we can. Do you want to check that with them to see if it's doable?
Yeah, probably I'll ask them. But then I don't know. Is it very common that I think I at least seen some native modules that doesn't really require a rebuild. I think there is some other tool that is used to build. I think we have come across at least one which doesn't actually build against the libruby, which doesn't link against libruby. Do you know if that is some way of building it?
Yeah, there is always a list of strange packages that for some reason depend on Ruby and break every transition. But I don't remember which ones. Well, every time I see them again, I think, well, you again. But I never keep a list.
No, I'm just saying. I think there are some way of building the native package which would it doesn't need a rebuild with a new Ruby or something. I think we have come across one case. I don't remember this.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Is package that needs source changes to build against new Ruby, right?
I don't remember the name of. I think it's a different way of building the module, not the standard one. I think we had to do something for the versions, copy it manually or something. Something we did with jumped it up for that.
Right. Yeah, I think. Yeah, every time I found one of those, I reported bugs,
Yeah,
asking
FF5.
them to.
FF5 was built using that or something. No. Yeah. Anyway, probably we can find that later. Very soon.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a bunch of packages that we need to usually backport upstream patches to support these new versions. Usually it's just changing the version constraint somewhere that works. But okay. Anything else about the transition?
Nothing here.
And Praveen, is everything right
Yeah,
for
I
you?
think I covered. Probably I need to find that, but that we can find later.
Okay, yeah, the next topic that we have in our agenda is about some discussions that, not discussions, but people complaining about what our tooling should do or not in our mailing list because of, I don't know, usually edge cases, and we should tackle them in our tooling, I think. So I was not tracking everything that was happening in the mailing list, so I'm not sure what is that. So I just asked people to add here what they think that we should do in our tooling. and Pravin added those 3 bugs that he filed. And I know that Daniel had another request. I remember that in the main list, but I didn't find the links for that. So maybe Pravin, you can just briefly present to us what is the idea of each of those bugs, and then we can see how to fix that.
I don't think we have enough time to go over each one. I think the bugs themselves describe the issue. I think the biggest problem is finding people who to or actually write the code. I mean, at some point they might come into my radar. For instance, I was sponsoring a new package these days, and I found the Vincian complaining about the empty plugins directory, and that's annoying me. I'll probably fix it myself the next time I see it. But other than that, I think we should get new people contributing to Jam to Deb.
Yeah. Yeah, we discussed that last sprint, and we tried to introduce other people, but I think, yeah, I personally, I didn't have much time to work on that, but I think now that I will be working on the Ruby transition, I will have more time to spend on this. So maybe I can try to grab 1 or 2 of those bugs and see if I can
Yeah, nice.
propose something.
That's something else that we might want to include in that periodic activity, like hacking
Okay.
sessions. Let's all pair program on a change to Jam to Deb so people know their way of code. I think that's probably going to be useful. I can
Yeah,
even help with that.
yeah, that's a great idea. It will help some newcomers and us that we don't have much time to work on those things.
Yeah,
Right,
I
so
think I found that Ruby FFI compiler. I think it creates modules that is not linked against the libruby or something.
Yes. But are those modules right? But yeah, because they use FFI to load those modules, so in print, those modules are probably pure C, so they don't really, they should not depend on anything from Ruby itself. Okay, but yeah, we can talk about it when the time comes.
yeah, okay. And something to add about those improvements to our tooling, Pravin?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else here. We can move on. I'm taking notes on the pad, but we can move the discussion ahead.
Yeah, so the last thing that we have here, and shame on Utkarsh because he added this topic and he's not here, is about Ruby Sprint next year. He was mentioning here about Fosden or something, if anyone wants to host the sprint, or but I don't know your feeling about he's here.
Have some insider info. FOSDEM is still not decided if it will be online or in person. There will be an announcement in a week or 2. Walter told me yesterday.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Yeah,
Thank you.
maybe we should aim for DebConf 22, so we all go to DebCamp and do this there.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. And because of this pandemic situation, maybe people are not comfortable to travel multiple times. So maybe if we can do that during that camp, it's a good idea, I think. Do you want to say something, Lucas, since you are here?
Yeah, I always love sprints, which are not with DebCon and DebCamp, but well, that's just me. But anyway, like for example, the Pearl team is planning something. I mean, it's just that we will plan a sprint sometime in February. Sorry, March or April. Maybe we could do the same. I'm not sure. But yeah, there are lots of variables with the pandemic being involved, and so. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that, but for
Yeah,
sure we should have.
I have the impression that we are not going to know soon when it's going to be possible.
Uh-huh.
So I think we should piggyback on the overall Debian patch that Kosovo for DebConf is going to be viable for most people, and then aim at that for this time, I think.
Sure.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
agree.
it's the safest option, I think, at this point.
Yeah, definitely. Well, so are we all planning to attend DebCamp next year? All of us here? Or
Yeah, I hope it will be possible, and I want to go. Yes.
okay.
Yeah, we do.
Are you planning to go to attend, Praveen?
Yeah, probably I would be also because in 23 we will have to host. So yes,
Yeah,
in
okay.
India.
Sounds
Oh, it's
good.
also gonna be first DebCon for Pradeep, I think.
And yeah, I think that's what I have in our agenda. Do you have any other business to discuss or question with people watching us or something?
Yeah, really quickly, I want to discuss the Rubicon packaging that I had written along with Antonio, and like I just wanted to talk about how it's doing now. Uh, Well, it has crossed over 200K downloads, but that is not that big a news. The big news is that it is being used by 500 repositories already across GitLab and GitHub, and I'm not doing like fixes, not forwarding anything on my own. So I stopped, I think, in October 2020, and since then people have picked up Rubical packaging on their own. Albeit like it's not so much of a standard right now, which is obviously because we're not like doing so much of work at the moment. But the four things that it fixes, it has been well received, and I'm really happy about that. That it is being used. Like 500 projects are using so far. Like the GitHub stats shows that, and GitLab and GitHub together, the 500 projects have been using the packaging. So which is like really awesome. And we also get like new issues and stuff about like on the repositories. I've been watching them, and I mean to work on them like at some point as well. But yeah, I just want to share the stats that it's still being used, and I'm really happy. And it's being used more than that it was being used in last year. So
Really nice. I'm very happy about that.
yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good. Nice.
Thank you for your work.
well, Antonio's and David's.
Yeah, you all.
Yeah,
Oh,
for the
and
range.
at some point we also have to work on the documentation thing. Like Praveen had opened up the issue, and I guess on the Rubicops namespace, and under the Rubicops namespace, we still have to work on the documentation, and I've been postponing that because I've been uh, avoiding like the writing part of it. But I guess at some point we have to do that.
Yeah, maybe if we have time, maybe I don't know. We should talk whether we're going to like planning to get any Ruby apps back into the stable release. I think this time GitLab is already out. I think even Redmine and OBS was out in this release. So I don't know. Do we want
Yeah.
to do anything or just give up, or I don't know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, at least myself, I want to work on Redmine because I think it's a same project to update and make it work again. But for instance, I'm also an uploader of Open Build Service, and I'm not willing to work on that anymore. I don't know if other people are planning
Yeah, I
to do
think
it.
for Redmine the problem was that it was never ported to Rails 6, and I think
Yeah,
it hasn't been to this day.
yeah, that's the issue. I don't know the current status, but I think
So
until
Yeah,
the next release it will be ready.
yeah, even Diaspora, it's not ported to Rails 6, so I embedded Rails 5. So
So Redmine catches up with Rails a bit slowly. So we have Rails 6.1, I guess, in experimental already, and we intend to upload Stone server as well, I guess, at some point. And then even then, it's gonna cause some problems to Redmine. So what I mean to say is like it catches up with Rails slowly because it's a fast-moving thing, Rails, and Redmine being like a bit slow on catching up with Rails. So there's always going to be a little bit of problem. So just a heads up there.
Yeah, I just want to say that not everything is so bad. So we do have a lot of apps. Vagrant, Rerun, DebCon itself is Ruby, and it is in the release. What else? The most popular Ruby app we have is Gist, the
Gist,
GitHub-based bean thing, and that's why Ruby is in the key package set.
Just because of this.
Yeah. Ask It Doctor is used by a lot of packages. What else?
Like I found that Ruby interpreter itself is being used by a lot of places by a lot of people when they want to download or run the CI on the Debian image. So they just apt install Ruby or Ruby Dev, whatever. So Ruby itself is being used everywhere else.
Yeah, I think we're doing our best, right? We have a bunch of packages.
Ron is also used by quite some packages. SAS as well. And that's only looking at my system here.
Cedric just added to the Etherpad that he would be happy to organize a new sprint in Paris. But
Ooh, I like that. I like the sound of it.
yeah, let's see if it's going to be possible.
yes.
So far, the vaccine I had is not accepted in most of Europe right now, so I wouldn't be able to go if changes don't change soon. But that's details for us to figure out later.
yeah, I got 2 doses of the Covishield. I think it's AstraZeneca. I think it's accepted in Europe. Probably.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Most parts of Europe have accepted that, right? That's correct.
And we are almost out of time.
Yes. So
I got
let's
the last
wrap up.
minute.
Yeah. So do you want to say something? Say bye or. That's
Yeah,
it.
thank you so
Nice to see
much
you
for
guys
joining.
again.
See you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye.